solve some crime.
Oh boy, solving crime, my favorite.
Take a sip.
Get ready to will.
Do you want me to turn it up?
If you want.
Okay.
Let's go to that auto saves.
Auto sav is.
Auto save is. Do you want me to read it out loud?
I think they forgot. Forget a royal visitation? No one could make such a blunder, princess.
Well, I guess I should just go in. Huh?
No!
No! A body has been discovered.
She killed her dad.
Dad? March 17th. 3:37 a.m.
3?
9:37. I looked at the 3 too hard. Hyrule Grand Court Defendant Lobby number 3.
You'd think that after so many years of doing this, I'd be used to the stress. So why am I shaking? Ugh, I guess it's a lot worse when it's your friend's life that's on the line. Come on, gotta look professional. She can't see you like this. Speaking of her, though, where is she anyway? Hey, you over there!
Huh? What is it, attorney? The trial isn't starting yet.
But it will be soon, right? Would you happen to know why my client isn't here yet? I didn't get to speak much with her when she was arrested, so I was hoping I could at least exchange a word with her now.
Wahaha! Well, you weren't the only one with the idea. I believe she is currently in the prosecutor's lobby. He wanted to talk to her as well.
What? What is up with this guy?
He got fish lips.
He bars me from the crime scene, blocks my detention center visits, and now this?
Not to worry. She will definitely be here before the trial.
Okay, dude.
Okay, man.
Great. That'll be a joyous 5 minutes indeed. But there's nothing I can do but wait. Sometime later. Okay, this is ridiculous. How much longer can he keep her?
Ah, see? There she is. No need to get all worked up. I can do the voice for her.
Is something wrong? Did I hear shouting?
So much for looking professional. No, don't worry. Everything's fine. This is Malin. Ever since we met in Hyrule Castletown all those years ago, we've been great friends. Her heart's in the right place. I know she cared deeply about her father.
Oh no, she had daddy issues.
If everything's fine, why do you look so worried?
Well...
How did the investigation go? Did you find anything?
Yes, the investigation. I found tons of, groundbreaking stuff. Particularly that my opponent's a real scumbag.
Looks so sad.
What did the prosecutor want from you anyway?
Well, it was mostly just threats.
He kept explaining in detail what happened to me if I'm found guilty.
Doesn't sound like a vital discussion that needed to happen right before the trial. He probably just did that so we wouldn't have as much time to talk.
You believe in me, right? I didn't do it, I'd never.
Of course I believe you. Although, I'll be honest, things aren't looking very good right now.
Sigh.
What's that you got there?
A tissue? Oh, this? Just a pictograph of father I carry around.
Oh,
I just can't believe he's gone.
that dickhead on the left killed him.
I thought it was the horse.
I wish I knew how to cheer her up right now. I'm not very good at handling emotional clients.
It's me, I'm the emotional client.
Hey, you know, that pictograph could be really useful for the trial.
Oh, how so?
Well, you look so happy together. I can present it to show that you two had a great relationship.
You really think so? Ah, well, here you go then. The
Got
only
'em.
photograph I had of my father. He's dead now.
What else is in the court record? Oh, just my badge.
You got no evidence.
At least I'll be walking in there with something other than my badge. But wait, we shouldn't just be idly chatting. Anyway, there's not much time left. I know it's hard to talk about, but could you tell me what actually happened? I don't stand much chance if I don't know your version of the story.
I understand. Unfortunately, there isn't really much to...
The trial is starting. Defendant, attorney, please enter the courtroom at once. She's like,
Uh-oh.
She's like, shit!
Shouldn't have said that stuff about having no chance. Alright. Everything will be fine. The prosecutor has been playing me for a fool since this began, but sooner or later his arrogance will be his undoing. Let's head inside.
Dad?
My name's Link. I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years. I've won my fair share of cases and lost some too, but this one is personal. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save Malon's life, I've got to find out who did this to Talon. So after Ocarina of Time and he was sent back to being a child, he spent those 7 years going to law school.
I don't want to be the hero of Hyrule. I want to be a lawyer.
Talon, he was always so kind. He didn't deserve this. I need to do him justice.
Justice for Gotham.
He had a cool Bowser lanyard. I can't lose this.
Now insert Danganronpa trial.
Well, Ganondorf's the prosecutor. Court is now in session for the trial of Malon of Lon Lon Ranch. The defense is ready, Your Honor. This is British. Dragmire.
Dragmire. You want me to voice him?
Yeah, you can hear voice him.
Oh, I sincerely doubt that. What were they thinking? Pitting me against some pathetic kid.
I'm not a kid.
Oh?
Oh,
Pathetic kid!
I didn't read that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Still your tongue. You bring shame upon fine color of your hair, vile woman.
Oh, because he's got the same color.
Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you committed. Let us not prolong the inevitable. Shall we begin? Nuh-uh.
Now, this court is no place to be exchanging insults. Since the prosecution seems ready as well, let's hear their opening statement.
The opening statement shall also be the closing one. The girl did it. It's obvious. Burst twitching. She killed her own father in cold blood. She could have the ranch to herself. Dude lost his mouth closed. Couldn't wait for the old fool to die naturally, could you? You greedy little rat.
God, these animations are giving Toontown.
I'm not a rat.
Jared! Your Honor, you can't allow this man to verbally abuse the defendant like this.
Objection! Ha! She committed murder, kid! She deserves every bit of scorn she gets. Nuh-uh.
I do believe a little less commentary wouldn't go amiss.
Bah! I assure you, old man, you will change your opinion once you see all the damning evidence. Right here.
Who is this guy? How can you speak to the judge like that?
Ganondorf Dragmire. Looks like I've been lucky to avoid meeting this man until now. The stories I've heard about him must be true. A boorish barbarian of a man hailing from the Gerudo province. Apparently, he prides himself on the nearly clean streak he's cultivated for decades. All while disrespecting everyone in the court, including the judge. I've even heard some attorneys refer to him as the King of Evil. This must be an alt universe. Definitely has that look at the very least. Who wears full armor to court?
Armor.
Very well, please present your case to the court.
You don't seem to like me talking, so I'll just get the detective I'll let the detective present the basics. Bring Impa of the Sheikah Force to the stand.
Well, here we go, the first battle. I know Impa, she's quite a competent detective. Which worries me. Please let her have made a mistake just this once. I love the animations.
It's awesome.
Look at Impa!
Alright, state your name and whatever it is you pretend to do.
You never change, do you, prosecutor?
Impa's a man. Any possible change would be for the worse. Now stop wasting time. Name and occupation.
Oh man. Very well. I am Impa, head detective of the Sheikah Force, Homicide Division.
True for now, at least. Well, what are you waiting for? Start talking. You're the one assigned to this case. You know all about it. What calamity has befallen our fair kingdom?
Still can't be bothered to give a proper opening statement. I suppose I can do the prosecutor's job for him this time, for the sake of an unbiased look. Please go ahead, detective. The incident happened early yesterday morning on Lon Lon Ranch, a local supplier of goods located just south of Castletown. The current owner of the homestead, Talon, was found dead in his ranch house. A tragic loss for our kingdom, for sure. I've seen the man around Castletown a number of times delivering goods. Quite. The owner was a rather important figure in the local community. In any case, we were alerted to the scene of the murder by the Royal Guard, who were there on official business. Official business? What kind? As I understand, the ranch provides the kingdom with vital services. To ensure it is operating as it should, and as a gesture of appreciation, the Crown orders a visitation to the ranch every year. I see. A scheduled annual visit. Continue, detective. When the Sheikah Force arrived, they found the victim bleeding out onto the floor. Next to him lay his daughter Malin, breathing but unresponsive. After a thorough investigation, we arrested her, as she was deemed the only possible culprit. That about covers the gist of what happened.
Very nice and succinct. Keep that. What is sunken?
Succinct.
Succinct. I don't know that word. Keep that up, and perhaps you will keep your job.
I don't think a good detective here has to worry. The good detective here has to worry about much about that, given she is the head of the department. Which reminds me, why is the head of detectives herself on a case like this? Were the other detectives unavailable? Ah, that would be because I have been assigned to this case by order of the King of Hyrule himself. The King himself assigned you? That doesn't happen very often, does it? You're correct, Your Honor. I am not usually involved in fieldwork like this. This time, however, the King felt it necessary because of who was involved. Who was involved? Is the death of a ranch worker really such a concern for the King? Well, as I said, Lon Lon Ranch is a very important supplier of goods, to be sure. But that's not who I meant. I imagine the king wanted the top investigators on the job because it was the royal princess herself who was discovered the crime scene.
Le gasp. Bum, bum, bum.
The music is awesome. Order! I will have order! The royal princess Zelda witnessed the crime?
Ha! And there you have it. This case rides on the princess' own words. To doubt it would doubt your own royalty.
This is bad. Can't really object to that. Very well. If the princess is testifying today, it's better we don't make her needlessly wait. Detective, please testify about exactly why the defendant was arrested. The reasons for arrest. It is with regret that I agree with Dragmire. All the evidence points towards this girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside of the ranch house. There were only 3 people on the ranch: the victim, the defendant, and a worker who has an alibi for the time of the crime. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out onto the floor. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon. Without a doubt, that's what was used to kill the victim. She seems like such a bright girl. It's most unfortunate. Your Honor, I would like to submit these pieces of evidence to the court. First, I have the autopsy report performed by the Crown's top coroner. Okay. Here's what we determined to be the murder weapon, which we took from the defendant's hands. Poacher's saw. To make sure we had the correct weapon, we conducted a very thorough investigation. Naturally, we searched everyone and thoroughly examined the ranch and its vicinity. Nothing unusual was found, but to be safe, we also checked the ranch's inventory list to see whether anything was missing. The list matches the items we found on the ranch exactly, and nothing but the saw had fresh blood on it. That does sound quite compelling. This must have been a truly terrifying scene.
Dying from a wound made by a weapon like this is extremely painful. This only helps to prove the defendant's viciousness.
At this rate, they're gonna paint Malin as some heartless monster. There is one more thing I feel I should mention for the sake of completeness. Shortly after we arrived at the ranch, a courier showed up to take some milk shipments.
Of course, business must go on. Is that really necessary to enter into evidence, though?
The shipments did end up leaving the ranch, so I feel it bears mentioning. Were the contents checked before you let them go? Naturally. Who do you take us for?
She keeps pulling out her knife, like, I'm gonna stab you.
Even though the worker handling the shipments did get quite worked up about it, we cracked all of the boxes open to check what was inside. In the end, it did turn out to only be milk bottles, so we let them through. Very well. Thank you for your thoroughness, Detective. It's your turn.
Oh.
So, what happens now?
Well, this is where I step in and perform a cross-examination.
Ah, great. How does that work?
Huh?
Could you explain what you're going to be doing?
Can't hurt to go over this again. Sure. The witness will repeat her testimony. I'll be able to scroll back and forth through individual statements by pressing A and B or with the... Yeah!
Yeah, we are.
No, just repeat as many times as you want?
That's right! I have to consider every little detail. Can't miss a thing. If I want more info about something, I can use L or Z to press the statement, and ask the witness question.
Grill them for info.
Yup. Since the witness has to come up with an answer on the spot, if they're lying, prompting for more info can make them slip up. Most importantly, though, if I find something that doesn't line up with the evidence, I can press bleh to bring up the court record.
The court record is basically a list of all the evidence, right?
Yes. I can open it at any time if I need to recheck the facts. After choosing the contradicting item, I'll press C up to raise an objection and present my doubts to the court. Oh, and I can not only present evidence, but profiles as well.
Profiles?
The court record contains a list of all the people involved, too. I can switch between evidence and profiles with it.
What the...
If I need to review what's been said recently, I can also press start to see a history of messages.
Ah, I see. That makes sense.
It doesn't make sense. Is the defense done whispering?
Sorry. If he's so upset about it, why doesn't he just press C right to skip ahead? The defense is ready to cross-examine the witness.
Bah! A waste of time. No.
I sincerely hope you're not implying that standard court procedure is a waste of time, Mr. Dragmire. In any case, we're ready, defense. Please begin the cross-examination.
Oh boy.
I agree. All the evidence points towards the culprit. What makes you think she's the culprit?
Objection! She's just about to tell you to keep quiet and listen.
Right, sorry. As I was saying,
You done messed up.
determined that the murder took place inside of the ranch house. And just how did you do that? It's quite simple. There was no blood found anywhere else. Had the victim been attacked at some other location, we'd expect a trail of it leading to the scene. Couldn't the killer have just cleaned it all up? Certainly not. The path to the ranch house at London Ranch is not paved in any way. Cleaning blood off the ground would require disturbing the soil. Naturally, we found nothing of the sort.
Bah! There wouldn't have been enough time to pull that off anyway.
Likely true.
How do you know?
Right, it sounds like the location of the crime scene is pretty firm, but I'm not giving up yet. There were only 3 people on the ranch. The victim was found, but...
So you just object with everything?
No, you press.
Oh.
3 people, you say?
I guess that would have to be Mr. Ingo.
Objection! Let me stop you before you start getting too excited. If you had listened to the rest of what the detective said, you've noticed she mentioned an alibi.
Indeed. We're pretty certain that the ranch worker couldn't have been involved. Well, what is this alibi, then? You might remember that I brought up some outgoing milk shipments? Well, the worker, Ingo, was in charge of them. He left the ranch house first thing in the morning and was busy preparing the shipments after that. Is that so? Surely he could have gotten away from that for one really quick little murder.
Objection! Bah! This wouldn't just be a quick little murder, as you so crudely put it. He'd have to have taken steps to hide his involvement, too. There was definitely not enough time for that. How do you know?
Unfortunately, I agree.
Preparing a shipment is a lot of work. Shut the fuck up. You have to milk the cows, clean all the bottles, pour the milk out into them, arrange them into crates, and finally load it all up into the wagon. Usually I had to do it together with Father to finish before the courier arrived.
The shipments were already ready when we arrived at the ranch. When we checked the boxes, they were all fully loaded with filled milk bottles. So this Ingo was able to do the work of 2 people all on his own? Isn't that a bit odd?
Objection! Odd or not, he evidently did that. Clearly, he's a man dedicated to his job. Or perhaps the girl and her father are just very insufficient.
Ingo blows at his job. What do you mean? This whole thing seems awfully suspicious if you ask me, but I guess I have nothing to dispute it with. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim who was bleeding out on the floor.
Here!
Malin fainted? Correct. We couldn't get her awake for a long time. Eventually we decided to administer a healing fairy so she could be questioned. I guess finding the body was just that much of a shock, huh? Wait a minute!
Ha!
You could use the healing fairy on her, but not on Talon?
Probably just pretending, trying to make it look like she merely found the body.
In any event. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon. Without a doubt, that's what was used to kill the victim. And how can you be so sure of this? Look at the autopsy report.
Deep irregular... Rose is holding... Actually, it was my saw. Deep irregular wound made with a sharp metal object.
The saw was the only sharp implement in the ranch house that could produce such a wound. And as I've already mentioned, we also looked closely at all other sharp things at the ranch. None had recent blood on them.
Recent?
That still doesn't necessarily mean the saw was the murder weapon. Maybe the real culprit hid the real one.
Objection!
Oh!
Oh yeah? Prove it then! Show us the real murder weapon.
Well, I definitely don't have any way to do that.
Here's a real murder weapon.
Still, something bothers me about that saw.
So, you have nothing? What a waste of time.
Okay. Oh, it puts a little check mark if you pressed it. She sure is. We've known each other for years.
Yet she murdered her father in cold blood. How curious. Perhaps you're just bad judges of character, both of you.
No way. Just give me some time and I'm gonna prove it.
Do you see anything wrong yet?
Well, usually it's difficult to find anything wrong with the basic facts of the case. That said, I do think I saw one small thing.
Ah, saw.
See? That's great!
It sure is, because I've got to poke all the holes I can find before the princess gets here. Okay. Found in Malon's hands clean of blood. Scythes? Brooms, axes, horseshoes, saddles, wood saws, knives, hammers, buckets. Huh, seems like a fairly large oversight. I just went to make sure of something. The state the saw is currently in is how you found it at the crime scene? That's correct. That's strange, considering how much the victim bled out and how deep his wound was. Why is there no blood on the supposed murder weapon?
Sorry, I like it.
Huh, is that all you have?
Well, yeah.
Huh?
Naturally, the prosecution has an explanation for why the saw is clean. Behold, this cloth was found in the defendant's other hand. As you can plainly see, it is stained with blood. Oh my god, we're going through the skies. The defendant simply wiped the murder weapon in a futile attempt to hide her involvement.
If Malon was trying to hide her involvement, why didn't she just leave the crime scene?
Bah! Obviously, she was trying to hide the body before the royal visitation arrived at the ranch. Unfortunately for her, it just so happened that the delegation arrived quite a bit earlier than scheduled. In a panic, she quickly wiped the saw off and pretended to faint to make it look like she stumbled upon the scene.
Young lady, things are not looking very good for you right now. The court accepts the bloodied cloth into evidence. So, what's the story with this cloth?
Well, I'm on my period.
No, don't.
Well, as I was doing a final check around the ranch, I noticed that part of the fence around the horse paddock was damaged. Not entirely sure what happened, when that happened, but sometimes one of those horses just gets a bit too rowdy, you know.
Right.
Anyways, I didn't want to bother Mr. Ingo about it, so I tried to cut up a new rail by myself and patch it up. But then the saw slipped and I cut my hand open.
Oh, goddesses, are you okay?
Well, it wasn't that bad. It did bleed quite a lot, though. I used the cloth to quickly bandage the wound. I was actually going into the ranch house to ask Father to help me with the fence. Ha! A likely story. Well, just look at her hand. And impossible to verify now, of course. Oh, the Sheikah Force had to use a fairy on the defendant to get her out of her supposed unconsciousness. I do have to give her some credit. She is a cunning woman.
If she was bleeding a lot, it makes sense why she would faint.
She knew that she would explain the sudden lack of any wound on her hand.
Why, yes, fairies are wonderful. Just the other day, I slammed my hand with the gavel and one took the pain off immediately. Great. Glad to know they're used for such important things. But, dang it, too bad there's no way to tell whose blood is on the cloth.
Eat.
No.
This tastes like meat. I do believe this matter has been settled. I'm ready to call my next witness.
Uh-oh. Is that all I can get out of her?
You served your purpose, Sheikah. Begone!
Fine. But you had best treat Her Highness with respect, or I'll see to it that you spend the night in the dungeons.
Do not presume to threaten me, Sheikah. A night of darkness and solitude would be nothing but comfort for me. Okay, Edgelord.
Is that so? Then perhaps we should fill the dungeons with lit candles for the occasion.
Not candles!
No!
No, not scented ones that smell like cupcakes.
You dare bring light to my lair? You must die! They're glaring daggers at each other. If this doesn't end soon, we're all in trouble.
Bonk.
Order, order. I'm sure we'll treat the princess with utmost respect. You may step down, detective.
I keep getting distracted by my little icon in the corner. It's so stupid. This case has already made me weary with all the pointless jabber. The time is ripe to deal the final blow. I call Her Highness Princess Zelda of Hyrule to the stand.
Oh boy.
Do you want me to be the princess?
Yeah, you can be the princess.
I'm gonna take a fip. Take a fip for this.
He's sweating.
Is something the matter? Why is everyone quiet all of a sudden?
Ah, Your Highness. I believe we're all just a bit uncertain on how to proceed. It is quite the honor to have such an esteemed guest in these halls.
Bah! In the face of the law, the princess is no different from a peasant. Name and occupation. Meow!
The prosecution will behave. I will not have any derogatory statements directed at the princess.
Derogatory? I simply wish not to waste any more time. We must employ proper procedure.
Oh man.
Oh, it is all right, detective. I believe the prosecution does have a point. In the eyes of the law, we are all equals. On this stand, I am just another witness. I should not be getting any special treatment. Very admirable, Your Highness. We can all rest easy knowing Hyrule is destined to have such a wise monarch in its future. Yes, indeed.
Uh-huh. Fucking Ganondorf standpoint.
I eagerly await the day when our next ruler takes the throne and reshapes the kingdom in their image. It's definitely not gonna be me. It'd be so funny if it was. You flatter me, prosecutor. Now then, I believe I was asked for my name and occupation. I am Zelda, current Princess of Hyrule and heir apparent to the throne.
Marvelous, Your Highness. Before we begin, I would just like to know, why were you at Longlawn Ranch to witness this terrible incident?
It is simple, really. Longlawn Ranch is Hyrule Castle's town's biggest food supplier. Not only that, but the ranch has also equipped Hyrule's royal guard with the finest of horses. Every year, the royal family makes a visit as a gesture of goodwill to assure the quality of the steeds.
Wow, I didn't know your horses were used by the royal guard.
Yeah, we work hard every year to make sure that they're the best possible condition. Yeah. Father loved to boast about it to the other ranch owners.
Knowing Talon, I'm sure he did.
How unfortunate the ranch may no longer meet the crown's high standards under new management. The royal family has a backup, I trust.
We are looking for one. Naturally, those standards are quite high.
Yes, of course. Now then, please describe what you saw on the day of the incident.
Very well. Here I go.
Scene behind the door.
I arrived at Longlawn Ranch a little after 8 a.m., accompanied by my loyal guards. I remember being surprised how quiet everything was. There was nobody to welcome us. I could sense that something was wrong. I opened the door to the ranch house and went inside. The room was mostly empty. There was a table with some kind of crystal bottle on top of it. But in front of the table, a terrifying scene unveiling. The defendant hacked at the ranch owner's chest with the saw that she was holding. I was overcome with fear, and I screamed. I will never forget what I saw that day. I heard that Talon and his daughter were incredibly kind. I cannot believe she would commit such horrible violence. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. What? Oh my, you saw the very moment the victim was killed?
There you go. Decisive testimony.
Decisive?
What does that say?
Decisive?
Decisive testimony.
I can't
You
read.
didn't see the V?
I can't read.
As there is no need to doubt the princess' statement, I call for the judge to make a ruling right away.
Shit! Hey now, hold on. I didn't get to cross-examine the witness yet.
Huh! You haven't, fool, because there is no need. Did you not hear the word of what I said?
Didn't you just say we should follow all the procedures and treat the princess like any other witness? This is the defense's right.
You complete monk.
I believe the defense has a point. They do have every right to perform a cross-examination, no matter who's testifying.
I was quite looking forward to this part myself.
Take a seal. Shoot, I was still reading.
I only ever read about court proceedings in the Royal Library.
That being said, I will not tolerate any reckless accusations toward the princess. Is that clear? Naturally, Your Honor.
Oh no.
How am I going to cross-examine the princess? This isn't going to end well.
What's gone into the prosecutor? That seemed like a rather intense outburst.
Well, I do have a guess.
Oh?
Because of the princess's status, it's possible that Dragmire didn't have an opportunity to discuss her testimony with her. That might mean that this testimony is a surprise even to him. This could be my chance. Before we begin, there's just one thing that caught my attention. I believe the princess mentioned seeing some kind of glass bottle at the crime scene.
That would be this, I presume.
Eye drops?
Why, yes, that's exactly it. My eye drops.
What is that?
Oh, that's the bottle of perfume that Father intended to gift to Her Highness when she arrived. He quickly rode out to town again at the last moment. We didn't know the princess was coming instead of the king, and he only had about 2 hours before the visitation. Oh, how thoughtful. He really did not... he really did not need to bother himself so. As fascinating as all this is, the prosecution doesn't believe it's relevant to the case. Huh?
It's good to have a full picture of the crime scene. Dumbass.
Dumbass?
The defense requests the bottle be accepted into evidence.
Bah! Desperate to latch onto every little thing, are you? It's just water. Whatever. You can add it to the evidence if it'll make you happy.
It's Kool-Aid.
It's Kool-Aid. No skin off my teeth. I don't have skin on my teeth at
In
all.
that case, the court accepts this bottle into evidence. Now then, defense, begin your cross-examination. Alright, here we go. Let's look at the court record. Just before the crime, found at the crime scene. Deep irregular wound. No later than 8. I arrived at Lon Lon Ranch a little after 8.
Uh-oh. Hold it.
If these guards were with Her Highness, why were they not called as witnesses?
We did question the guards, naturally. Apparently, they didn't get to see anything relevant.
I was the only one to enter the crime scene. After seeing what was inside, I stood guard and insisted that no one be allowed inside until the Sheikah force arrived. I have read that preserving the scene is vital.
Quite correct.
I'm sure the guards were absolutely thrilled with this order. Please proceed, witness. I'm being surprised at how quiet everything was. There was nobody involved in this. Have you conducted these royal visitations in the past, Your Highness?
Oh no, this was my first one. Up until last year, my father was always the one to visit Lon Lon Ranch. However, he decided I had to start preparing for all the royal duties that await me, and so I was to do it this time.
You will doubtlessly perform admirably as ruler when the time comes.
What happened when you got to the ranch house? Since something was wrong, I opened the door to the ranch house and went inside. The room was mostly empty. There was a table with some kind of crystal bottle on top of it. And in front of the table, a terrifying scene. Okay, I'm pretty sure I know what I have to present. Your Honor, Your Highness, I believe I found something that doesn't quite match up with the facts.
How dare you question the person? This is...
You will let the defense speak, prosecutor. I think I see why he so desperately wanted to prevent this cross-examination now. Your Highness, you stated that you arrived at the ranch shortly after 8 a.m., correct?
Yes, the visit was scheduled for 8:30 exactly, but we were quite a bit early.
I see. That makes something you mentioned quite impossible. As stated by the autopsy report, the victim definitely died before 8 a.m.
Oh!
You couldn't have seen the defendant attack the ranch owner when you arrived. Because the victim was already dead by then!
The princess lied?
Order, order!
Yes, you really caught her in a lie!
Your Highness, what is the meaning of this? While I wholeheartedly respect and serve the crown, I will nonetheless not tolerate lies in my court.
I have not lied, I I suppose I did not see the exact moment it happened. I guess only thought I did.
Princess, this is a matter of life and death.
I definitely saw the defendant there, though, along with the body. There was no one else who could have done it. I remember all the other details correctly. The body's on the floor, the pool blood. You have to believe me.
Perhaps it'll be best if Her Highness revises her testimony. That's not good. There's still not enough doubt to overturn this testimony. I'll have to find something else, or this case will be over. What I actually saw.
I'm sorry for embellishing the truth a little bit. I did not see the actual moment of the attack, but it had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. Miss Mellon and her father were the only ones at the scene of the crime, so she must be the culprit. But what if it was me?
Let me look at the thing! I see, you only saw the aftermath of the scene, not the actual crime being committed. Very well. Hopefully there are no issues in your testimony this time. Defense, it's time for your cross-examination. Naturally, Your Honor. Dragmire still looks pretty angry.
Pissed.
I bet he didn't expect such a blatant contradiction to pop up. If I could just find another one like that, the princess's testimony would become completely untrustworthy in the eyes of the judge.
Don't fib.
Why did you do that, Your Highness? There's a life on the line here.
I really am sorry. I suppose I just got a bit too excited about being witness in the actual murder trial.
Really now. Most people hate testifying.
Yes, well, the life of a princess is rather boring, you know. This is quite the break from the routine for me.
Should just get a hobby then. Let's see the actual moment of the attack. In that case, it can't be conclusively proven that the defendant did it.
Objection! Defense, you exhaust your singular brain cell in the last contradiction you found. There's a Death Mountain's worth of evidence pointing at the defendant. Just because no one saw the actual moment of the crime doesn't mean anyone else could have done it.
I think you're making a death mountain out of a death molehill.
You wanted to say that so bad.
It had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house.
But didn't he bleed out?
How can you be so sure of that, Princess?
Well, when I entered the ranch house, the victim still had the murder weapon embedded into his body.
What?
It's obvious what that means, is it not? The killer didn't even have enough time to try to hide the weapon. Yes, I might have not seen the murder firsthand, but I must have been very close to doing so.
Oh my, this seems like a very important detail.
Why did you say that sooner?
I think it would be advisable for Her Highness to amend her testimony.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Interesting.
He looks like he's having a heart attack.
Dragmire certainly doesn't look very happy about this development, does he? Thinking about it, I might just know why. The murder weapon was still stuck in the victim's body after all. Died from loss of blood. That was wrong.
Objection. Can you be any more rude? This is royalty you're speaking to.
Getting lectured on rudeness by this guy?
Well, let's see what it is you're waving around.
It's, this.
You're rude and wrong, it turns out.
Hence will abstain from belligerent failures. Ow.
Yeah.
It was still stuck in the victim's body. Found in Malin's hands. That's what it is. I believe I found another reason to doubt the witness's words. It seems the prosecution sees what I'm getting at here. There was a bloody cloth discovered at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has argued before that it was used to wipe the saw clean. If the princess saw the saw lodged in Talon's body and the crime scene was left intact, then it couldn't have been wiped. Well, Prosecutor Dragmire, care to explain?
Grrrr!
This is most perplexing. Your Highness, are you sure that's what you saw? I'm a goofy goober!
Well, maybe the princess decided to pull the saw out in the violent yet futile attempt to save the victim.
And then wipe the blade clean? That would be almost like framing the defendant.
Of course I did no such thing. I made sure the crime scene stayed intact. But no one saw me do it.
Oh.
I guess I must have made up the memory about the saw sticking out of Mr. Talon as well. Thomas. You idiotic girl! Eh? Do you even realize what you've done through your bumbling? I'm sorry. I was just so excited to stand as a witness in the court just this once. Whenever I tried telling my father about anything, he always seemed so disinterested. Just this once, I wanted to feel listened to. I have daddy issues. Defendant, it is clear that she did it. I just wanted to play a larger part in her capture. I am so sorry for the trouble I have caused you all.
Get her out of here.
Get her out of here!
Your Highness,
Get out.
the court is no place for silly games. As it stands, I'm afraid we will have to strike your statements from the court record completely. Yes, I did it. The prosecution lost their key witness.
Why does he look like the guy from South Park? Like, so. No,
Greetings.
please wait.
I am the chosen.
No, please wait. I have more to say. I was wrong about the crime scene, but I still have not testified about what I saw afterwards. Bah! Why would we care about that? It is best that you leave and stop damaging my case with your idiocy. Even if you're not interested in my words, you might be interested in the evidence I found. Oh, what? You what?
Huh? Evidence?
Of course. While the Sheikah force investigated inside the ranch house, I looked around the rest of the ranch on my own. Sheikah, did you know about this? Nuh-uh.
Of course I did.
You did? I'll have your head for this.
Order. What is the meaning of this, detective? What have you withheld? Why have you withheld this from the court? It's quite simple. The princess specifically requested to present her finding on her own.
What? And you agreed to this? This court is not some playground where children decide what evidence should be presented just because they have a crown.
He's being rude about it, but I can't help but agree with Dragmire on this one. Also, I don't really buy this story. There's no way Input would have allowed this. Believe me, I wasn't thrilled with the request either. However, after seeing the evidence in question, I didn't think it would be at all important to this case. Thus, I let the princess have her fun. This is highly irregular. I'm not sure how to feel about this. Prosecutor?
Bah! Naturally, I object to this nonsense. If the detective thinks it's irrelevant, then this is probably just a waste of time. All the evidence points to the defendant. It's clear she did it, even without a witness at the scene.
I see. Defense?
What do we do?
If we object to presenting the evidence, then Dragmire loses his key witness. Plus, whatever the princess presents could be bad for our case, too.
So we should agree with the prosecution?
Well, on the other hand, we don't really have much to go on. This could be our only lead left.
Well, don't keep us waiting. Well, we're waiting. Surely you won't throw away all this progress you've made thus far.
What do we do?
What are you gonna do?
Let's request the evidence. I really hope this is the right choice. The defense requests that the evidence be presented.
What?
While I agree the situation is irregular, we should still examine all evidence available. It would be silly to dismiss it as irrelevant without even seeing what it is. I do believe you have a point, defense. However, I must warn you, in order to admit this piece of evidence into the court record, the princess's statement that she found it must be admitted as testimony along with everything else she might say. Yes, Your Honor, I'm well aware. The defense wishes to give the princess just one more chance.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't get to read what that said.
I didn't hit a button.
Oh.
Order! Very well then. Your Highness, please testify once more about the new piece of evidence you found during your own investigation.
Gannon keeps looking like he's having a heart attack.
Thank you. I will not let you down this time. I promise.
Yeah. Princess should understand the gravity of the situation at hand now. I just hope this new evidence isn't damaging to our case.
I found a note written by her that says I'm gonna kill my father.
Totally real.
Totally real, not forged. I actually know I read it myself. I wish to express my most heartfelt apologies for my mistakes in the earlier testimony. Upon entering the ranch house, I saw the defendant passed out in front of the victim, who was bleeding out. I stood guard at the entrance of the ranch house until the Sheikah force arrived. Once the Sheikah started investigating the crime scene, I decided to have a look around the ranch. While I was walking near the silo, I noticed a strong odor in the air.
Oh dear.
I had to stop to see where it was coming from. A horse pooped. I followed the scent and found a burnt-out fire nearby, and a small, nearly empty bottle of lamp oil.
Lamp oil. Rope. Bombs.
I, of course, took the bottle straight to the head detective. And here it is, the oil bottle I found. It's definitely not piss. It's oil.
Totally not piss.
It's oil.
Not piss.
It's not piss, I promise.
It's
I might have had to go earlier, but is something wrong?
It's not a piss sample.
It is oil.
Oh no, this might actually be completely irrelevant. Yes, well.
Of course there is, foolish girl. That has nothing to do with anything. Your great finding is some random fire at a ranch? Please! What next? Are you going to declare every rake on the premises suspicious?
There was a rake.
Well,
The prosecution will calm down. This is bad. Your Honor! Despite the fact that this evidence might not seem to add anything at the moment, the defense still asserts its right to a cross-examination. Some straws have been grasped.
Objection! Why must you insist on the charade defense? The princess merely recounted the same view of the crime scene as the head detective. You haven't been able to find any contradictions in her statements.
I believe there might be a way to tie the princess's new evidence into the case.
Ridiculous! I had 15 heart attacks.
Regardless of what the prosecution thinks, the defense does have a right to a cross-examination. The court admits the oil bottle into evidence. Just really hope this isn't a complete waste of time, defense. Let's look at that.
Oil.
Has a tiny bit of oil inside. For both your own sake and your clients'.
My findings.
Meh.
My way.
Once the sheik has started missing in perhaps accidents, will get around the right.
Oh, why was there an odor?
While I was walking around the silo, I noticed a strong odor in the air. I had to stop to see where it was coming from. All of a sudden, I found a burned out fire nearby and a small nearly empty bottle of lamp oil. What was the smell like?
Oh, it was awful. A really terrible stench. Oh, ha, ha. Surely you don't mean to say that you found the smell of horse manure suspicious. Do not be ridiculous. The smell was not coming from the horses. It was coming from me.
A fire, huh?
Sorry, that's your one. Now let me remind you, defense, that there's any number of reasons why a fire could have been there. You could still feel you can still feel the cold grasp of death early in the morning.
Princess, how long would you estimate the fire had been out before you found it?
Ah, right. There was still smoke rising out of the ashes, so it must have been put out recently.
So around the time of the crime.
So someone prepared their breakfast there. I repeat, the fire is irrelevant.
You realize the same thing I did. Well, who was it? Who could have lit the fire anyway?
I would it would have been the ranch worker who was putting the milk shipments together at the time. It was almost certainly him. If you want to ask about his little barbecue, you might just get your wish soon.
Doesn't sound like it was very appetizing. Without anything concrete to pin on him, he'll just be able to brush it off. Right, and she allowed you to present it?
Well, I was the one to find it, and since I was going to the trial anyway...
Utterly ridiculousness.
Yes. Please make this the last time you do something like this, Your Highness. Proper procedures exist for a reason.
Yes, I understand.
Clearly you don't. Do you have any idea why there would be a fire at the ranch that day?
No, it's pretty odd.
And it sounds like it's definitely worth looking into, although it would be hard to link it to the crime in any way. In situations like these, getting as much info as possible is my best bet.
There's no need to press the princess for her apologies. You already wasted a chance to throw out her testimony.
Yes, defense. Please get to the point. Yikes. Is there anything else in the room?
Only the beautiful little crystal bottle I mentioned before. The house was rather barren. Most of our things are on the top floor, since the downstairs room is mostly used for ranch business these days.
And the occasional game.
Oh, of course! Dad's famous Coco game!
Good old days.
Is the defense done reminiscing? There will be plenty of time to do that when the defendant's behind bars.
I was just trying to distract myself from the fact there's nothing to latch onto here. Anything happened during that time?
No, not that I recall. The guards did occasionally protest and asked me to let them take over, but I held my stance. While commendable in theory, staying in the same room as a dangerous killer isn't very wise. What if she woke up and lashed out at you?
Sweet highly up above!
I thought that thought did not occur to me.
Bah! Of course not! Foolish girl.
But the guards did stand close by. I would have been safe.
Wonderful to see how much faith our princess has in our royal guard.
Yes, of course I do. In any case...
Didn't you just go home?
The royal visitation was supposed to last a bit longer. Father was not expecting us back at the castle until much later. I came into the ranch to examine the horses, so I suppose that I could at least do that in the meantime.
How long did it take the Sheikah to arrive at the scene?
She said she went to examine the horses, but she didn't. It does not take very long to make the trip from Hyrule Castle town to the Longmont Ranch. I cannot imagine it was more than 20 minutes.
That is pretty fast. Although I can imagine the fact that the princess was involved helped speed it up.
Slowpokes. I would have been there in half the time, running backwards even. I suppose it's no surprise, though. Hylian horses are naturally inferior to our fine Gerudo steeds.
Oh, shut up.
The group buy horses from around them.
Just don't bother. He's trying to rally you up. Bonk. Defense, I believe that is enough. Doesn't seem like you're getting any closer to finding a connection between this fire and the crime at all. No, I suppose not, Your Honor.
Naturally. I said this was a waste of time from the beginning.
In that case, this cross-examination is over. Thank you for your time, Your Highness. I assume you have no more revelations to share with us?
No, I do not. I really thought the fire would be important.
Leave my sight.
Enough.
Enough.
Your Highness, if you'd allow me to escort you back to Hyrule Castle.
Very well.
Now that the princess's little game is over, we should move this along. The prosecution's stance is still the same, of course. We maintain that the evidence on its own is enough to convict the defendant.
I do believe I am nearly ready to hand down my verdict. But Your Honor, there's nothing that definitively shows that Malin committed the crime. This is all circumstantial. There's no way she could kill her own father. Ah, that is an excellent point, defense. The prosecution has yet to elaborate on the defendant's motive. Patricide is not something a person commits lightly.
Bah! I did briefly touch on the subject during my opening statement. But naturally, the prosecution is fully prepared to elaborate on the matter. I would like to call in my third witness.
That has to be that ranch worker.
Before calling him in, though, the prosecution requests a brief recess to prepare.
I thought you said you were already prepared. Maybe he wants to double check that his new witness won't pull anything weird like the princess did. Very well. I do believe a break would benefit us all. The court will reconvene after a 15-minute recess. Court is adjourned.
You're just gonna go threaten the other witness.
Yeah.
You better make this look good!
March 17th, 11:17 a.m. Hyrule Grand Court, defendant lobby number 3. It's not going all that well, is it?
No!
No, I think that went about as well as it could have actually given the circumstances. We exposed the worst of the princess's testimony as untrue.
Ugh! I can't believe she just makes stuff up like that.
Yeah, that was surprising. Still, the issue is that we didn't manage to shake the core of the argument. If only there was anyone else in the house.
Do you want me to do this?
I don't know who it is. Oh, it's her. Detective, aren't you supposed to be escorting the princess back? The carriage is being prepared. I thought I'd drop by in the meantime. You've really managed to make Dragmire furious, you know. I have? If you listen carefully, you just might be able to hear him ranting over in the prosecutor's lobby. Ah. He's really giving his upcoming witness a grilling. Expect him to try to shut you down as fast as he can. Well, that would be worrying if I had anything you could shut down in the first place, I guess. Oh, but you do. What do you mean? Oh, come on now. I'm talking about the princess's grand discovery, of course. The fire? I wasn't able to do anything with that. You really think it's relevant? Don't get me wrong, at present I'm convinced the girl did it. We investigated and came to this conclusion for a reason. But I'm willing to explore every possibility. That fire is definitely a bit strange, and I dare say it may be your only way out of this.
You can do it.
If I may be so bold, I think you should press the next witness on that topic hard. As the only other person working on the ranch at that time, he is the only one who could have lit that fire. If he's hiding something, I think the court deserves to know. The thing is, the next testimony is about motive. It's going to be difficult to bring up the fire again without Dragmire objecting. You'll have to make it work. As much as I don't like it, she's right. There really isn't a whole lot else to go on here. Well, thank you. Don't mention it. One last thing. You, ranch girl.
Me?
Try not to hold that testimony against the princess. Believe me, I'm sure she was acting with the best of intentions in mind.
You know the road to the Dark Realm is paved with those, right?
Perhaps. It was definitely a serious lapse of judgment. One she will live to regret. Part of this comes from the fact that she's rather sheltered and inexperienced. After the sudden death of her older sister last year, she was thrust into the role of her...
Huh?
Huh? That's why she looked different. Oh. Huh. The princess will soon have a whole kingdom's worth of troubles on her shoulders. I noticed she looked weird, but like, I didn't think it was... Huh. For a kingdom with a history as turbulent as ours, it's a lot to handle. The princess's conduct today probably won't help with the distrust some people have of the crown right now, though. She's wise beyond her years, she will learn, and she will be better. I simply ask that you don't think of her as an enemy, whatever comes of this trial. She does not need more than she already has. Wow, she's so intense, I never expected to see Impa get so emotional. I guess all this is why she decided to take the blame for the princess's impromptu investigation.
Detective Impa.
I am the pink guard.
What is it, soldier? I'm quite busy at the moment, so please be quick.
The investigation team back at the ranch has just sent word of a new development. Something about the milk shipment has been returned to the ranch because of wrong receipt address. They're asking you to come over to see it.
Oh, those idiots. I don't have time for this. Send someone else. I have to escort the princess to the castle.
Roger.
That did remind me, though. I took this bottle of milk from a couple guards who were slacking on the job earlier. Here, ranch girl. Perhaps it'll help calm your nerves somewhat. Not to worry. It's still unopened.
Huh? Thank you. I like milk.
That's nice of her. Too bad for those guards, though. Now then, I believe the princess's carriage should be prepared by now. If you'll excuse me.
Maybe the milk will have something to do with it?
Maybe.
Ugh. I think I'm so nervous right now. Milk just has lost its flavor. It doesn't taste like milk.
Huh? Lost its flavor? But Lon Lon milk is always so tasty. Are you sure it's just nerves? Let me try some.
Here you go.
Huh, you're right. I assume this would have come from one of yesterday's shipments?
Probably. With the investigation at the ranch, there wouldn't be any today, so maybe it just isn't fresh?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't really taste as if it's gone bad. Also, the guard said that one of yesterday's shipments was misaddressed, didn't he? And this was all handled by Ingo, wasn't it? I think there's something odd going on. I'd better make some notes about this in the court record.
Defense, the court is about to reconvene. Escort your client back to the courtroom at once. Why is he in booty shorts?
Shut up, bitch. So it comes down to this. The conclusion's approaching. Time to turn this situation around. Here we go. Court is back in session for the trial of Malin of Lon Lon Ranch. I trust that the prosecution's final witness is ready.
Naturally, I've personally seen to it that there will be no foolishness this time around. As we discussed before the recess, having established the opportunity and means the defendant to have committed the murder, only one matter remains, the matter of motive. For naturally, such heinous crime couldn't be the result of mere happenstance. The prosecution believes the defendant had a deep desire that pushed her to patricide. Our next witness can shed light on the matter.
Fascinating. Very well. Please proceed.
The prosecution calls the ranch worker Ingo to the stand. What an ugly fellow.
Can I voice him?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ha! It's funny to see Mr. Ingo in such fancy clothes. He's usually a bum.
Oh?
Yeah, he almost always just wears his work dungarees. It's almost like looking at a different person.
Well, I guess you wanted to dress up for court. You wouldn't want to get that nice outfit dirty by working in it.
Maybe he got his clothes bloody and he burned it.
Maybe.
I think he's the murderer.
He's probably the murderer.
Quiet, defense! Witness, state your name and occupation.
Your Honor, great honorable prosecutor. My name is Ingo. I mind Lon Lon Ranch.
Looks sunburnt.
Mind? What does that entail exactly? I'm mostly there to work on the structures and equipment.
He looks high.
The owner and his daughter are the ones who tend to the animals and take care of orders.
How long have you been working at the ranch?
It'll be several years at this point. There have been others who came and went, but I, Ingo, have persevered through all the hardships. Sounds like he wants a medal for it.
Well, he does get a bit pompous at times, but Mr. Ingo really is great help. He built the ranch silo single-handedly.
Well, that's some dedication.
Very well. Given that you clearly aren't an important employee, you are privy to some inside information, is that correct?
Yes, the ranch owner shared all the big plans with me. He trusted me implicitly. He used to say we're like a big family. That sounds lovely. Sounds like a red flag that we're going to be getting loads of unpaid overtime.
Because evidently, not every member of your so-called family felt the same way, though, did they?
It hurts to do this, but I have no choice. Hear my story, Honorable Court of Law. He's got a lot of chest hair.
What's chest hair?
Think so.
I thought that was just neck.
Just a couple days ago, the owner, Talon, partly signed the ranch over to his daughter, Malin. Talon became a life tenant, with Malin meant to inherit all the assets after his death. His long as Talon lived, Malin could not sell the ranch. It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership and leave the dingy ranch life behind. It's appalling how ungrateful she is after all Talon did for her.
Bro's tweaking. Ah, there you have it. Testimony from a man who just lost everything. It's truly tragic to witness yet another family torn apart by greed. We have evidence, we have the defendant caught red-handed at the scene of the crime, and now we have a motive.
Dad? How do we know he's telling the truth?
Bah! I have, of course, verified the witness's testimony. As per law, all inheritance documents must be filed at the Castletown notary office to be considered valid. I saw fit to prepare this for the trial. The prosecution would like to submit the Lon Ranch inheritance document into evidence.
Okay.
Mr. Ingo, why would you...
You should pass judgment now, Judge. The defense has nothing.
Fuck off. I would like to cross-examine the witness. There are a few more details I feel are relevant. But of course, ask whatever you'd like. I, the hard-working Ingo, can handle it. Very well, defense. Please begin.
What about the counsel you're mentally unstable? Who the f said that?
Who the fuck said that? Who said that? Boop. How long ago was this exactly? 3, 4 days? I'm not sure of the exact date. Had it been planned for a long time? Talon was getting on in years. Better to take care of the matter sooner than later, huh? Malin.
He is telling the truth. Father scheduled to visit a notary office about a week ago.
What do you mean by partly, witness? So Malin hadn't become the ranch owner yet? Well, of course not! Haven't you heard all the stories making rounds recently? So many ungrateful brats throwing their old folks into retirement homes the moment ownership's been signed to them? Talon was no fool. I myself... Hi, Diane.
Hello.
The litigation of Zelda Ocarina of Crime.
Ocarina of Crime.
Yes,
Great.
that's what this game is. I myself convinced him that it was the safer option. If the girl was up to some... What now? Chickenry?
Chickenry!
He could always revert his decision.
That's horrible! I'd never do that!
Chickenry.
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 Yeah. As much as I'd like to believe that, you did much worse by killing him. Children these days, you feed them, you raise them, and they pull a stunt like this as soon as you give them an inch over yourself.
I must concur, this younger generation is horrible.
Why do you look at me while saying that?
But
Anyway, what that meant was... Malin could not sell the ranch. But why would Malin want to sell the ranch right now? Why wouldn't she want to? Why would a pretty little girl like her want to work on some dingy ranch? She'd have it much better if she sold the old place and used the money to move to Castletown.
I think he's projecting.
That's not true! I love working with the animals! I wouldn't leave them for anything!
Wah! She's often slacking on the job while I, the hard-working Ingo, have to cover for her. I guess the Deku nut doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say. That Talon loved to sleep on the job, too. I do recall a quite funny story about the Lon Ranch owner blocking the side entrance to Hyrule Castle for an entire day once. The guards couldn't wake him up. It took a particularly vocal Kuko, apparently. Ah, jeez. Well, there you go. I'm the real reason why the ranch has such renown. Me, the hard-working Ingo.
That sounds...
Wait, that's not true at all!
Yeah, bullshit, Ingo. I know, but how do I stop this? Let's look. A little while after the crime. Near a burned out fire has a tiny bit of oil inside. Apparently one of the milk shipments was returned to the ranch due to being misaddressed. It seems strangely tasteless.
Wait, if she's unable, divide the deed between the crown and the employer. So if she can't inherit the ranch, she has to give it to the employees.
Right.
And he's the only other employee.
So it would help him to frame her.
Yeah, so he could get the... Do you think he could use that for
What if I just do this? No, that was wrong. Damn it. Damn it. Shut.
We're just 5 steps ahead of him.
Thank you for slapping camera. Talon could not sell the ranch.
Well,
Talon became a life tenant with Malin meant to inherit all of the
that's not
assets.
true. Unless she's unable to.
No. No, 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 no. Oh!
Oh.
Yeah.
Dread.
By the sound of it, it seems like everything he's saying is true.
No, it's not. I'm very grateful for all my father did for me.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to imply you weren't. And actually, maybe I should press Ingo a little bit on that point. Do you really think Malin would go that far? I don't want to think it, but clearly the events speak for themselves, don't they? Why wouldn't she just wait a few more years then? Talon was getting older. Perhaps she knew more and more work would be piling onto her. Really? How am I supposed to know? Ask her! That's alright. Well, if Malin didn't want to work, wouldn't she have done this earlier? As Talon's only child, she'd still inherit the ranch. That's where you're wrong. For a long while, Talon planned to split the ranch between the girl and the crown. He was a patriotic man. He knew how much those horses meant to the royal guard. I wish he hadn't changed his mind now. Is this true?
Yes, father's previous inheritance document didn't work that way.
How admirable. I guess familial bonds won over his drive to help the kingdom. Truly a shame.
Yes, naturally. The girl wanted the whole thing, so she bided her time.
I think this officially explains the timing. Let's continue, shall we?
Wait a minute. There's one more problem with the timing that I'd like the witness to explain. Why would Malin have planned the murder for the day of the royal visitation specifically? More people around means more witnesses. You'd think she would have it chosen any other day. Oh, did I forget to mention this? I overheard Talon arguing with her that very morning. He was telling her he'd changed his mind again. He was planning to tell the king that he'd be signing the ranch over to the crown. After the visitation was over, he'd head to Castletown to change the inheritance back to the original split. What?
Despite the victim's wishy-washiness, it would appear he did the right choice in the end. And because of that choice, if the defendant wanted to get the ranch, she had no time to waste that day.
Is this true too?
Absolutely not. Father wasn't planning to do that. There was no argument either.
What to do about this argument then?
Should we add it to the testimony? And then cross-examine?
If we add it to the testimony, we can cross-examine it, yeah. There was an argument about the inheritance? That sounds like an important fact to me. The defense requests to be added to the testimony. Very well, witness. Please do so. I'd be happy to, Your Honor.
Oh, Neil.
Overheard them arguing about the inheritance that morning. Wow. About what time did this happen? First thing in the morning. I was heading out to the silo to start the day's work. I had just walked out to the front door of the ranch house when I heard some yelling and erupt behind me. Do you remember any specifics about what was said? Oh yes, it surprised me enough that I stopped to listen for a minute. It was all like, I'm real sorry, Malin, but the most important thing is to make sure the king will always have a steady supply of quality horses. I don't care. What about me, Father? How can you do this to me? Malin, this isn't just about you. It's for the good of the entire kingdom. But what am I supposed to do? I can't move up in life if I'm stuck on this dump of a ranch forever. I thought you loved the ranch and all the animals are here, and Ingo's always around to help out with the chores too. He's pretty great, isn't he?
Oh my god.
Yeah, Ingo's awesome, but I still hate you for this. This isn't over. Boy, that was cringe. What a stirring reenactment.
I will keep my thoughts on the witness's acting skills to myself.
There's no way this actually happened, though. Malin would never want to sell the ranch.
Well, of course she'd say that now, you buffoon. Remember, she's under suspicion for murder. We can't trust a thing she says.
Oh, really?
Really?
Well, I trust her, but the judge probably doesn't right now, and that's unfortunately what matters. Do I have anything in the court record that would refute this story?
If you ask me, this whole inheritance issue would have been avoided if the crown wasn't so soft. In the brutal desert, there would be no question that the fortress may seize whatever it desires.
That's just messed up.
Stand up for a second. No matter, continue your testimony, farmhand. Share with us the true nature of the defendant.
A while after the crime. What am I? Overheard them arguing about inheritance that morning.
I feel like it has something to do with the inheritance, because it says that he would get it if she's unable to. I just don't know which part it would.
Yeah, but they want me to press on this part.
Like I said, it's not true.
Of course, but since no one else was around, it's just your word against his. Wouldn't be any physical evidence of the argument, so it might be a dead end. We should focus on something else. Maybe he'll sub out if I press his other statements.
Speed said I'm as baffled as the baffle would. Need a seal.
First thing this morning, I was heading out to the silo to start the day's work.
Wasn't that where the fire was? By the silo?
Yeah. That's not it. Well, here, let's press this last one.
No, you hold
it.
Oh,
That,
so that's you.
that man gave everything for her. She's gotten so many expensive presents over the years. Just look at that golden necklace she's wearing. That man spoiled her rotten. In fact, I think I saw another present he was meaning to give her on the very day he was killed.
Oh, that was for Zelda.
That was for Zelda. Tom was such a kind man. What happened to him is despicable. Is that not standing up for you? Absolutely.
Ma! What are you doing? Trying to implicate another defendant? Trying to implicate the defendant even harder?
I think it's an important detail.
The perfume is irrelevant! But I suppose the prosecution has no objections in strengthening our case.
Very well, witness. Please add what you just said to your testimony. Do I just present the perfume on this one?
Yeah.
Witness! What is it? Just to confirm, you say that this bottle of perfume was bought for Malin by your father, correct? What else would it be for? I assure you, Talon wasn't the type to indulge in perfumes, far from it. Well, you're wrong, witness. Oh, is that so? Was the ranch owner truly a perfume connoisseur? No, Your Honor. This bottle of perfume was bought for the princess.
Objection! So what, defense? Sure, it's technically a contradiction, but what does the purpose of this bottle change?
Yes, defense, I admit I'm confused as well. Please explain why this point is important. Earlier in the trial, Malin mentioned that Talon bought this perfume in preparation last minute. Isn't that right, Malin?
It sure is! We had a gift for the king prepared when the news arrived that it would actually be the princess making his visitation. Father quickly rode out into town to get a new gift.
This info puts one thing into question. Talon's taste in gifts!
Oh, what is it? We only have 2 hearts left and I'm nervous. Oh, Zelda was already a person, like a personality question. It's either somebody's movements or the princess's testimony.
I don't remember what Zelda said, though, was the thing.
Let's look at the... Bought
just before the crime, found at the crime scene. Smarmy man.
Maybe somebody's movements?
Someone's movements around the ranch are put into serious doubt. Someone's? Well, don't keep us waiting then, defense. Who is this person? Actually, the person whose movements became suspect is... Ingo, right?
Oh man, it's either Engo or the defendant.
The witness himself. If you recall, this bottle of perfume, which had just been purchased, was found at the crime scene. A crime scene the witness supposedly never went to. He shouldn't have known about the bottle.
Ah! Now you're tweaking.
Order! The defense raises a very valid point.
You simpleton! What is the meaning of this?
Well, witness, did you go to the scene of the crime at any point? No, of course I didn't. I was working in the silo all day. I remember I saw the gift the day before the crime. The girl is lying. Talon must have gotten the gift the day before.
You're the one who's lying. Father didn't leave the ranch at all that day.
Oh, one word against another's. Defense, do you have any way to prove that your version of events is true? Find the receipt.
Would there be a receipt?
When you buy something, you usually get a receipt, and the receipt always shows the date of purchase. It might still be at the ranch house. I say we need someone out to look for it.
Father never threw his receipts away. We have a drawer full of them. The perfume one should be right on top.
I believe this idea has some merit. Soldiers, rush out to the ranch house immediately and search for that receipt.
Later.
10 minutes later.
Your Honor! Oh no.
Yes? What is it, soldier?
We have just received the receipt from the team stationed at the crime scene. Oh.
Very well, thank you. I shall now read it out. There's a lot writing on this. From Tingle's Mysterious Smells. Ah, yes, I think I've seen that store. It's that eccentric-looking place in the back alley.
You couldn't miss the blinding neon colors if you tried. It's an utter eyesore. The gall of this nobody running a monopoly on Highland perfume is preposterous.
Perhaps. But back to the matter at hand.
The nerve of that dunderhead. Why would anyone ever shop at a store where the owner calls every other customer a fairy?
Prosecutor.
And the balloons, all the balloons! That fool popped one right in my face!
What were you doing over there,
What were you
mister?
doing?
Prosecutor Dragmar, enough!
Shut up!
Continuing on, purchased item, 1 bottle of Rosy Rupee Land. Oh my, this is quite the price. Why, I would have to... Your Honor, please, the date of purchase? Ah, yes, right. Date of purchase. Why, it's March 16th, the day of the murder!
Oh!
Yes, we got him.
I think we're finally getting somewhere.
Bah! This still doesn't mean anything. Perhaps the witness briefly went back to the ranch house for something and saw the bottle then.
That's conjecture. Yes, that's it. I was getting thirsty, so I went back to get a drink. I must have seen the bottle then.
Oh, come on. You think we're gonna believe that?
Do you have any proof he didn't?
Well,
I believe this calls for further testimony.
when you
As the witness now claims to have visited the crime scene shortly before the murder, we should learn of this exact movements that day. My movements? Well, alright. There's not a whole lot to say, though. So unfortunately, he managed to weasel out of that. This next testimony will be full of lies. This is my chance. My non-suspicious movements. As was already stated, I had volunteered to work in the silo. At one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water. I went back to the silo right after that and stayed there until the courier came. I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then. At some point, the detective came and told me what happened, and wow, was that detective one fine woman. Okay, dude.
He don't get bitches.
He don't get bitches. See, I haven't done anything to warrant suspicion. Eat my shoes, you brat. I'll pass. There has to be something wrong in there. You can't put a flawless story together that quickly.
What about the fire?
That's what I'm saying, the fire.
Who made that fire?
What were you doing? Working on shipments and fulfilling orders. We sent out crates of milk to milk bars all across the kingdom every day, you know. Milk bars? Naturally. Everybody loves a good drink, you know. And our milk is renowned as the best there is. I hear some others water theirs down. Despicable.
It's the watered down milk.
It's the watered down milk! I think you said earlier that your job is to work on the structures and equipment, though? Indeed. Town and the girl would usually be the ones overseeing milk orders. However, since the royal visitation was happening that day, I felt they needed their minds unoccupied, so I took it upon myself to do it this time. After the murder, I got scared that the Sheikah Force's investigation would delay the shipment, and that I, the Great Ingo, would get the blame. Thankfully, it all went through fine. And you were so concerned with sending it off quickly that you wrote the wrong delivery address on it.
Bah! You Hylians! Ridiculous! Getting tipsy for something like milk? Bet you couldn't even handle a sip of the Gerudo Noble Pursuit. A real man's drink.
That's just cum. Aren't most of the Gerudo women? Speaking of drinks, I believe the witness was talking about how he had gotten himself a glass of water. Yes, of course. Moving all that heavy stuff around works up a sweat, you see. I got very thirsty and... You didn't think to just take a sip of the milk you were handling? No, it wouldn't be right. That milk was for the customers, you see? I just didn't want to get into any trouble.
A truly honest man. How dare you suggest he would steal from his own workplace?
Right. So what did you see at the house? Nothing much. I got my drink and left. Still had a lot of work to do, you see. I suppose I must have seen the perfume bottle then. In fact, yes, I remember it clearly now. It was there on the table, plain as day. Great. What happened after that, witness? I went back to the silo right after that and stayed there until the courier came. You were able to complete this so quickly on your own? You don't know the might of the Great Ingo. I'm not doing all those sounds. I did almost break my back getting those crates out of the silo, though. There were so many and all so heavy, it was like a puzzle in there. Anyway, that's not important. The point is... Are you sure? Sure as can be. Never went back in even after the crime was discovered? They wouldn't let me in! Preserving the crime scene or some such. I couldn't even get any of my things. After I was questioned, no one gave me half a glance. I had to sleep in the stables that night. It was terrible. Is what he said important? It is important.
You're all that.
I'd like the witness to add this last statement to the testimony. What? What are you trying to pull now? Very well, witness. Please amend your statement. Fine, whatever. Couldn't you have stayed at an inn? What am I, made of money? Think, boy, I'm just a simple ranch worker, you know? You lawyers always flaunting your wealth. Right, sorry. Not actually sorry. I doubt one night would bankrupt this guy. Just look at what he's wearing. Okay, that's not relevant. Or is it? At some point, it doesn't really say anything.
Well, he seems to least met with her.
Sure does. I wonder how Impa feels about it. Perhaps when this trial's over, I could... But no, we'll have to wait. Thought you could distract me, did you? I, the genius ranch worker, ain't gonna see through your schemes.
You're sticking to that story, huh?
Yeah, it was a desperate fix, but it holds up surprisingly well.
I can hardly believe this is the same Mr. Ringo I know. He's usually so nice.
It's time to press for more details. Yeah. Could it be?
He wasn't able to get any of his things, but he's dressed in work clothes. He's not in his work clothes.
Right.
Next one. Do you have sleeper access to any of my belongings? I hope that actually works.
Maybe? Witness, there's something seriously wrong with your testimony. What? What are you talking about? You say you couldn't get any of your belongings because they were all at the ranch house, correct? A ranch house you were not allowed to go in? That's right. Well, that would imply you should still be wearing your work clothes. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but those don't look like work clothes at all. The defense has a point. The witness appears pretty well dressed for court. I can't imagine he would want to sully load those clothes during work. Well, what do you have to say to that? Oh, of course. I can explain. It's simple. These are brand new. Yeah, on my way to the courthouse, I went shopping for a nice new outfit. After all, I couldn't very well show up to court dressed like a bum.
Yes, defense. Certain people have a
modicum
of respect to the court and show up dressed appropriately.
What's that supposed to mean? This is my finest Zora suit. So you claim you bought these clothes after the crime, is that correct? Very much so, this morning in fact. Why do I need to repeat myself? No. You buying those clothes today is simply impossible. What?
Oh, how can you claim so? Defense says you know evidence is everything in court. Oh. Uh-oh. Did we mess up? The milk? I'm scared, Drake. What are we gonna do? Did we done mess up? Well, what is today? The 15th or?
The day of the murder was the 16th. Wait.
The wood sauce says 1 piece.
Yeah, but we're looking for
Flails? What's travers? Post pounders? I don't know what any of that stuff is. But would this have to do with why he couldn't get it today?
I wonder if the image is cut off on the right. I wonder if we're supposed to see how many years on the right.
If we do lose, when will it reload at the beginning?
I don't know.
I think it autosaves after every scene. It said.
We have to present something here.
He was wearing the nice clothes before. Oh, that! There it is! Take that!
I would like to turn the court's attention to this.
Take this. Ah!
Why, this is one lovely pictograph. Ah, reminds me of the idyllic days I spent with my own.
What about this photograph defense?
Well, just look at what Ingo's wearing. This photo's from Alan's childhood, but Ingo is very clearly wearing the same outfit he has on right now. He couldn't have bought it today. Order, I will have order. Why, the defense is absolutely correct. I hope the witness has a good explanation for this. There, I think we finally got him. There's no way he can weasel out this time.
Audition!
Oh, unless someone weasels out for him.
Bah! Isn't it obvious? Naturally, the witness knew he would need to wear his nice clothes for a royal visitation that was scheduled for that day. He brought them to his silo in advance, just so he could quickly change just before the royal visitation's arrival.
Oh? Oh. Yes, of course. I needed to be presentable after all. Can't look like a bum in front of the most important people in the kingdom. Wait a minute, this is insane. What kind of kangaroo court is this? Prosecution keeps making excuses up on the spot. Ingo was clearly lying about buying the clothes before the trial. He's definitely trying to hide something. Your Honor, surely you won't accept this blatant perjury.
Perjury.
Accept it, Judge. There can be no other explanation.
Bonk. The prosecution's explanation does seem plausible. What? However, the fact that the witness didn't simply say it himself and instead made up a lie about buying the clothes himself is indeed very suspicious.
Oh!
Defense? The prosecution has posed that there is no other possible explanation for this contradiction. What is your opinion on the matter? Can the defense think of an alternative version of events? Really need to think this through. It's gotta be the oil. He was acting really suspicious right now. He's desperately trying to patch up holes in his testimony to conceal his real motives. Why would he be doing that? Ingo is the murderer. It's not Malin. Ingo is the only other person who could have done this. I have to assume he did if I want to think Malin is innocent. That in mind, why would Ingo change out his work clothes?
Because he murdered someone.
Talon got blood on them.
Talon's blood got on him. Ingo killed Talon. His clothes must have gotten blood on them. He had to change into something else to hide his involvement. But then, wouldn't the Sheikah force have found the clothes in his house?
He burned him.
He burned them! They were thrown in a fire.
Yeah, boy.
Talon replaced that.
Ace Attorney did it first.
Yeah, Talon replaced it second.
Ingo burned his clothes!
That's it. He burned his clothes.
I believe I can offer an alternative explanation.
Objection. Nonsense. Judge, the defense spent far too long sitting in silence just now. They clearly have nothing.
No!
I call for quick ruling.
I was brainstorming!
Objection.
And not only can I explain it, but in fact, the defense formally accuses the witness of the murder! It's simple. The reason he had to swap his outfit, and why he's been lying about the circumstances ever since, is because it got stained with the victim's blood.
Objection! Preposterous! If there was any discarded bloody clothes nearby, the Sheikah force would have found them, and they would have been trying to line someone else for a murder right now.
Why, you were absolutely correct, prosecutor.
Huh?
Naturally, Ingo couldn't have left his bloody clothes lying around. And so, he used this to dispose of them. The oil!
Yeah.
Your Honor, cast your mind to the princess's last testimony. The princess's... Ah, the mysterious fire!
Objection! Surely you jest. You yourself made sure that you knew how meaningless her testimony was.
And yet, with this new context in mind, it gains a completely new meaning. An empty bottle of lamp oil found by a burned-out fire. Ingo uses lamp oil to quickly burn away his stained work clothes. Well, how about it, witness? My scenario explains everything. You killed Talon and then tried to hide it. But, like, how'd he do it? Now, hold on. What drivel are you spouting here? Me? Kill Talon? You already know that's impossible. Too busy for murder.
I'm too busy to murder.
Everything you said is wrong. I have no idea what you're on about. I have an alibi for the time of the crime. I just couldn't have done it. There's no way I could have completed those milk shipments, killed Talon, and tried to hide my involvement. The fire was just made for a quick breakfast. There's no mystery there. Stop trying to pin this on poor innocent Ingo. The milk shipment.
But the milk shipment.
The milk
was wrong.
shipment.
Now I shouldn't have to remind you, defense, but you yourself were surprised that Ingo was able to complete the shipment in time. adding even more things for him to do in that time is preposterous.
That's right. The Great Ingo is efficient at his job.
That's right. Doug Dimmadome.
But not that efficient.
Nuh-uh.
It had to have been him. I'm sure of it. There must be some trick at play here. Some kind of shortcut. I must find it.
The fucking milk order was wrong. The milk order was wrong.
Too busy for murder.
He did the milk order wrong.
Surely my scenario is more plausible at this point than these panicked attempts to finish. Fit.
Objection! What more possible is it for you to decide, defense? He went southern. It's judge that makes the final call, and as long as this alibi stands, I can't imagine him siding with you.
Yes, all of those ends have to be tied up before a decision can be made. Witness, please continue. Could you explain what that alibi is again? With pleasure. At the time of the crime, I was busy preparing that day's shipments of milk. That's hard work. I barely had enough time to get them done before the courier came to take them.
The shipments were inspected by the Shika force as they were leaving the ranch. And as our resident detective has told us, they found it to be fully loaded up with bottles of milk. That's right.
The Shika force itself is fast for me. There's no way it could be the culprit. Oh, I disagree. There has to be a way. There must be. Would it really have taken that long to murder someone and burn some clothes? It's your line.
Sorry, I was distracted. It would have taken long enough to definitely make the scheme infeasible. How do you know that, Ian?
Cleaning these shipments is a rather involved process. You have to milk the cows, clean the bottles, pour milk in them, put them in the crates, and load them on the wagon. I love working with the cows, but that part takes the longest because you only get a little at a time. So Mr. English says the whole thing really does take a while.
And there's no way that he got all that done. He probably filled all the bottles with, like, water.
They're watered down milk because
Yeah.
they taste weird this morning.
Uh-huh.
Father and I usually have to work together to get it done in time for the courier's arrival.
He watered down the milk!
He watered down the milk!
And then he put in the wrong address!
Fucking idiot!
Idiot! We're like 15 steps ahead of him.
I know!
We know it's him. Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'm waiting for you to
I'm
read.
sorry! The ADHD medicine doesn't work off today.
Oops.
Oopsie poopsie. There you go, defense. Your own client knows that this is the unshakable truth.
Okay, so there's no way you can complete the shipments and also do the killing. In that case, there had to be some way for him to finish the work faster.
Milk!
I just have to find it!
The milk! The milk! The watery milk!
Do I do it on this one?
Watery milk? Watery milk?
Ah, but did you though? Did you really complete those shipments properly?
Objection! Defense, I shouldn't have to remind you that the Shika Force checked the boxes thoroughly. Watered down milk. They were definitely full of milk bottles!
Oh, I'm sure it looked that way. What are you getting at, defense?
The milk's watered down.
There you go, Your Honor. Huh? Milk for me?
Are you trying to bribe the judge now? I didn't think you'd stoop so low. The Crown will be informed of this.
Oh, it's nothing like that. All I'm asking is that His Honor try tasting the milk. Just one little sip. Just smell it.
Just smell it.
This is highly irregular.
Tastes like shit!
To be honest, I could use a drink. All this talking does make one's throat dry, you know. You've probably talked the least out of everyone here, though. Since the defense insists, I'll go ahead and take a sip.
Oh!
Is this what passes for milk these days? This almost tastes like water. Water?
What are you waiting for, Gary?
I have to agree, this is definitely not standard milk. As we've heard from the princess and the detective, Lon Lon Ranch is renowned for the quality of its products. But there's no way people would say that about milk this lousy.
Objection! Bah! Whatever! As if the unwashed masses would know the difference between quality and garbage. Where are you going with this defense?
It's simple, you see. I received this bottle from Detective Impa, still unopened during the first recess. As we know, there were no milk shipments today, so this must have come from one of Ingo's shipments from yesterday.
Ah!
It's true that Ingo couldn't have murdered Talon and also complete the shipments on his own. Unless he cheated. Ingo watered down the milk to get the shipments done in time. Order!
What are you waiting for?
Yes, I suppose that would work. Throw the book on Ingo! Indeed, all he had to do was milk fewer of the cows. To save enough time without ruining the taste too much, I'd guess he used about a 50-50 split of water and milk. This is... No! That... Talon.
Objection! Let me stop you right there. I will concede that something odd happened to that shipment. But all you have proven is that Indigo is a slacker.
How dare you?
Objection! Shut up, be quiet, you mongrel! Sure, Indigo watered down the milk. That doesn't make him a killer, though, does it?
Well, no. But now we do know that he definitely could have done it. We know he did go to the crime scene, and we know he did have the time and opportunity to kill Talon as well.
Yet there's still a vital element missing still.
His motive.
Let me put this in simple terms, so even an idiot like you can understand. Idiot.
It's his motive, which is easy. What?
Rebuttal? Rebuttal? The murder weapon!
The murder weapon!
You lack the murder weapon. If Indigo was a murderer, he could have been the saw.
He couldn't have been the saw. And why is that? It's simple.
It's simple. That's my line.
Okay.
If the girl's stories about working on the fence is true, then she was using the saw while her father was being murdered. It could have been used in two places at the same time.
Do I agree with this? Yeah.
You do realize the problems that it creates for you, right?
I'm sure it can all be explained.
Haha, as if. But very well. Let's move on to nothing else that could have been the murder weapon either. Where will the supposed other murder weapon even come from?
Couldn't he have used any old thing?
Either the answer the question defense or this discussion is over.
No need to overthink this. Anywhere Ingo could have gotten a weapon from will do. I'll worry about the exact details later.
Where will the supposed...
It's the ranch inventory.
Yeah. What?
Have you forgotten this murder happened on a ranch? There are plenty of sharp things on site.
Oh, that's simply impossible.
Really?
Where will the supposed we checked all sharp objects on the ranch and said everyone in the surgery room and for nowhere else. They had a stroke.
That's wrong, because this. Shit. I have to press it first, damn it. Couldn't Ingo have just disposed of it? Wiped it off? Wiped it off?
Well, the cloth was hers.
The cloth was hers.
Disposed of it in the fire, maybe? You see. You check all the
Bonk.
the list is in dispute.
No items were missing. So the problem is I can't see the full list. And I don't know if that's a problem with, like, the game, or they're just not supposed to, you're just not supposed to see them. Press it. How can you be so sure the inventory is accurate?
Wow, user hit! There's a royal visitation scheduled that day. The ranch owner needed everything to be in order. He would even double, even triple check the list when he wrote it.
But he's a slacker!
But the ranch owner didn't write it.
Yeah, right. Wait. The ranch owner...
He would have double...
He didn't write it!
Yeah. Because it was him. Oh.
That would be... something about the inventory itself.
Oh, you can't go around making such general statements, defense.
What exactly about the inventory makes it suspect?
Indigo.
The name. The one who compiled this list was Ingo himself. He could have easily falsified the counts as part of his plan.
Oh! It doesn't matter.
That was pretty cool.
Nothing could have been left in the ranch.
Nothing could have left the ranch? A milk shipment did.
Obviously we searched the perimeter of the ranch as well. Nothing was found anywhere.
That's the most important point. Has nothing really been able to leave? The milk shipment?
Nothing could have left the ranch. Milk!
The milk shipment? A little while after the crime?
Are you really sure nothing left the ranch?
That's my line.
Sorry. I was so excited.
What about a few little shipments of milk?
Preposterous! Have you forgotten this? That said shipments have been shaped by the Sheikah force before they were allowed to leave?
That's true, but there was a place the Sheikah could have overlooked.
What in Darren's name are you blabbing about? We're talking about bog standard crates here, boy. Not exactly vast dungeons full of nooks and crannies and stuff into, are they?
Where could they have missed a murder weapon? Simply overlooked.
Oh, he was poisoned. Do you think, maybe? The contents of the bottle? Maybe the crates themselves? That stand.
Contents of the crates. Contents of the bottles. Well, yeah, they overlooked the contents of the bottles because they were all filled with half-assed milk.
Yeah. Unless there was like a murder weapon here.
There's one place inside the crates that the Sheikah couldn't have checked thoroughly without ruining the shipments.
Without ruining the shipments? Oh!
That's right. Ingo put the murder weapon inside one of the bottles to conceal it from the search. That does seem plausible.
Objection! Now wait just a moment! Nothing could have left the ranch.
You're damn
A
wrong.
weapon and milk bar would just go unnoticed. Someone would have to report it. Who would have reported it?
But it was reported. It was returned.
Do you even know how much milk an average milk bar uses each day? All the shipments must have certainly been completely used up by now. Someone drinking from that bottle would have found it for sure, choked on it even, if they took too large of a swig. It would be such a huge scandal.
Well, he's right about that, but he's missing some vital information.
Oh! The fucking shipment was returned.
But it was due to being misaddressed. Right, but
Because it was sent back, maybe it was misaddressed, they probably haven't even checked the bottles.
you would be correct that a weapon showing up in someone's milkshake would cause quite a stir.
Ha ha ha!
If the milk actually ever made it to any milk bar, that is.
Huh!
You see, I overheard a very interesting tale during the recess. Word was sent from the ranch not long ago that one of the shipments was returned unopened due to being misaddressed. No! Indeed, if you recall, Ingo was the one who handled all that. Now that's strange. The ranch supplies the same milk bars every day. Even if he'd messed up the street address a little, the couriers would have known where the shipment was meant to go. How could he have bungled it that badly?
He must really suck at his job.
It's almost as if he didn't want anyone receiving a bottle of milk with a murder weapon in it.
Oh!
I bet Ingo expected this box to stay in shipping limbo a while longer. How unfortunate for him that the postal service was on its game today. Maybe because they were worried it'd start to smell. I believe this calls for us to investigate these boxes of milk more closely. Soldiers, have these boxes retrieved from the ranch immediately. Fuck yeah!
They got our hearts back. I was scared for a moment there.
This is slander! Why would I kill Talon? Sure, he's a bit of a layabout, but he did give me a job. Why would I want him dead?
Because of the will!
The motive?
The will!
That's simple. Why, I'm surprised you're even asking about it.
The thingy!
This evidence easily explains your motive. The fucking inheritance document.
Take that!
The very inheritance document you brought to the court's attention states the following. In case of the testator's death, his daughter, Malin of Lon Lon Ranch, will inherit the ranch. Unless she is unable to oversee it, in which case it shall be divided between the crown and the remaining employees. Ah! What?! You not only killed Talon, but decided to frame Malin for the crime as well, so you would be the one to inherit part of the ranch! That's why you volunteered to work in the silo all day. It gave you an alibi so that Malin would be the only possible culprit. Of course, you knew about the royal visitation in advance. You knew Malin would go back to the ranch house to prepare before they arrived. A perfect setup for the royals to find her next to the body. No, no, no! What are you talking about? Talon signing his ranch over to me? Preposterous! You really not know? I guess it was Dragmeyer who procured the actual document, not him.
Your Honor!
What is it, soldier?
The box you requested is here!
Already? That was quite fast.
Apparently the team at the ranch had already noticed something weird with it on their own. The box arrived just as they were about to rush out the courier to deliver our message.
Well, well, well. Let's see for ourselves then, shall we? Part of the shipment that proves my case is...
Blood!
Blood! Shit! Here it is from the bottle with a slight red tint to the milk. Looks like some kind of serrated knife. That explains the irregular wound pretty nicely.
How could those Sheikah idiots have missed that? Missed this?
I'm sure the milk was pure white when they first checked it. It took a whole day for the blood to dissolve in it. Either way, no matter how you slice it, this proves my theory right. Oh, I've had it. Fine, fine. You wanna know why? You wanna know why I really killed that scumbag?
Oh, he said it! No! No, what are you doing?
So you admit?
Yes, I admit it. What would you do if one day, after years of backbreaking labor, despite putting all your all into the ranch, you were thrown away like rubbish without any reason, fired? Farewell. We don't need you anymore.
What? But that doesn't make any sense.
Don't lie. I heard it all. I was just returning back from another day of spine-wrenching work, and lo and behold, what's this? Malin and Talon are talking behind my back. I heard it all. We'll let him go after the visitation. We can handle things without him. And so, after volunteering to work on that shipment, I quietly slipped out while the girl was busy and shanked the good-for-nothing slacker. You should have seen his face. He didn't expect it at all.
Gan's about to have an aneurysm.
So yes, Malin, I killed that lazy bum you called a father. And he deserved it.
Shut up.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. I'm mean. Why would you do that? Let's protect the tree. Let's protect the tree.
Order! The witness will cease his boasting over such a terrible deed. I think we've heard enough. Soldiers, take him away.
Wait just a moment. Ringo.
Yes, girl. I want to apologize. Want to apologize for what you've done?
Apologize? Me? You're horrible. We weren't planning to fire you at all. We were completely misunderstood what we were saying.
What?
We've had so much work recently. Well, you know how it goes with the royal visits. Always a busy time. Gotta make sure everything is in tip-top shape.
Oh, this is cute.
I do worry some bad about old Ingle, though. He's been complaining about his back recently. Do wish he'd take a step back and relax sometime. Maybe we should convince him to take a vacation.
Whoa-ha-ha. Now there's an idea. It'd do him good just get out of it for a while. I'll discuss it with him after the visitation. After things calm down, we can handle everything without him.
That poor guy.
You what?
What a bitch.
This
Bitch. That's... You were planning... What? A vacation for me? And I did... No, it can't be so. Please say it isn't so.
Chicken! You know what you've done.
Why are they hitting him in the dick?
My penis!
Oh!
Oh,
The big cock.
they hit him in his cuckoo.
They hit him right in the cock. We have witnessed today the results of a truly horrifying misunderstanding. But misunderstanding or not, what you have done is unforgivable. They did cock him good.
They
Yeah.
got him good.
Talon was a kind man, beloved by all who had the good fortune to cross his path. His loss would be felt not only at his ranch, but all across Hyrule.
The killer turned out to be an utterly pathetic man with delusions of grandeur. I mean, look at him! Another idiot dressed like a clown.
Jeez, he's really laying into him. I bet he's just upset because he lost. The prosecution's rant aside, I think it's time to declare today's verdict. This is just a formality, but will the defendant please step up to the stand?
I'm defendant.
Young miss, I am very sorry for the situation you found yourself in. I'm very glad you appear to have such a good attorney as a friend.
I would have chosen anyone else.
Oh, thanks. Now then, without further ado, in the name of Goddess Hylia and the sacred land of Hyrule, I hereby define Malin of Lon Range not guilty.
Maybe who's putting fireworks in the courtroom?
That would be so fucking loud.
Happy 4th of July! My fingers! My eye!
My leg!
My leg!
Court is adjourned! Get these people out of here! It's on fire.
March 17th, 12:32 p.m. Hyrule Grand Court. Defendant lobby number 3.
We did it!
I suppose so.
I guess Ingo's outburst kind of soured the mood, huh?
Too bad I didn't kill him though.
Ingo's outburst? He kind of got cocked.
They got caught.
I don't think I could ever forgive Mr. Ingo for what he's done.
That's fair enough, honestly.
He killed my dad.
Really, though, you shouldn't think about that for now.
My dad's dead now.
He killed my dad!
He killed my dad! I guess you're right. Now I have a friend. I have a ranch to myself.
I guess I have a ranch, but not a dad.
Don't even ask about my mom!
Excellent work! I knew you'd pull through. Oh, thanks. I couldn't have done it without you, really.
You didn't have faith in us
So,
earlier.
thank you. Now, that's not quite right.
She's so happy. She's like, I got a ranch now!
But no dad!
But no dad! I got a ranch and I got horses!
If you think someone, I'm not the one who deserves it the most. I want a dog!
I want a dog. You think I'll get paid for this?
How much is that
Dog in the window. Your Highness!
I thought you were going back to Hyrule Castle.
No.
What strings did Impa have to pull to get her here?
I was. But I realized I should apologize for what I did personally. It's an honor, even though you fucking lied. There it is. No need to bow. Not after what I've done. Really, if not for my status, I would have probably been carted off to prison alongside with the angry little man.
Perjury's, pretty serious, so that's probably not entirely wrong. As usual, you don't give yourself enough credit, Your Highness.
How can you say that, detective? I almost condemned an innocent person to prison.
Yes, there are some things you should think twice about doing in the future. But it's all thanks to you that the young lady over here finally went free.
I mean, it's not like you're the real Zelda or anything.
What?
What? What do you mean? Huh? You need to protect the tree.
Your real sister's dead.
I killed your sister.
I killed her sister.
I didn't kill my dad, but I killed
Wait,
your sister.
what am I? Hold on, what am I looking at?
Short Highness, what I'm talking about.
Why can't I look at the record? I wasn't paying attention. Shit.
Show.
Badge.
Take that!
Well. Never mind about that. In any case, I'm sure Miss Malin isn't too upset.
Well, sure. I'm a little upset because...
Ten what?
Ah!
We're playing football! We have orders to escort the princess back to the castle immediately!
I didn't know we were playing football!
I don't know how to play football!
I've never played football! And so they left to play football.
It's a good thing I'm not in charge. I killed my father. I mean, what?
Now then, listen to me. I know that I'm perhaps being too lenient on the princess, but tough times are ahead. The princess will need all the confidence she can get to lead the kingdom through them.
It sounds like you know that the king's gonna die next.
She needs to learn to take responsibility for actions too, though. Like when I killed my mom.
And she She didn't kill her mom.
What happened to her mom?
I don't know.
Huh?
Her Highness is in for a rather unpleasant afternoon today, I imagine. In football. The urgency with which she has just been escorted out of here isn't coincidental.
Her dad got killed from football.
What? Is the king going to scold her for being a bitch?
No, he's going to
Kill her.
beat her ass. At the very least. Now then, my duties call, unfortunately, so I must be off. Again, you did well today, both of you. I trust that I will be able to rely on you in future court proceedings as well. I'll try my best. That's all I ask. That unpleasant prosecutor seems to be making his way over here, so I'll be excusing myself post-haste.
Oh god, he wants to play football too. I'm not ready.
Farewell!
Oh,
shit.
my lord! You! You!
Hello! Nice day we're having, isn't it?
Hello, hi, so good to see you.
Tell me now, where did that blasted detective go? Got big ears. To have my reputation tarnished this way by some novice attorney from the boonies.
Ganondorf front view is a little cursed.
Hold on, I want to take a picture. I have my phone. It's over there. Never mind. Can I have your phone? Your phone.
You can have my phone. Dramatic much? He looks about ready to burst from anger.
Inky, don't be such a sore loser. You're just a dumb bitch that didn't even do your job right. You lost. Deal with it.
Yeah, we got the right verdict. Doesn't that make you even a little bit glad?
Huh.
I'm so done with your shit.
Yes, I suppose there is some worth in that.
Huh? Hey?
What transpired is most unfortunate. I can only offer my condolences. Just remember that it was the meddling of that idiotic princess and the stupidity of that blasted detective that led your arrest. So if you have any grievance, take it up with them.
But
I suppose there's some truth to what he's saying.
Speaking of the detective, it appears she had fled from me like a cocoa on fire. Mark my words, she will regret what she's done for generations!
I think he's gonna go kill the detective now. Well, that was sure something. I think that's a threat. He should be arrested. I don't know if he's being sincere or just wanted to shift blame onto someone else because he's a sore loser at football.
I wouldn't say he's entirely blameless. Never mind that. Do you think you'll be alright running the ranch by yourself?
Nope, I'm gonna sell it.
Of course I'll confess it, but I have had to... No, I can't do shit! I'm gonna sell it!
I'm gonna sell it. I'll get in touch with the castle and see if they can spare some men to work on the ranch, because I'm just dainty. Silly as my father may have seemed, he really did prepare me to take over one day, and he taught me well, like putting money into cryptocurrency. I'll make sure the animals are well cared for, just as I always have.
He told me exactly how much to put in Bitcoin.
I heard Doja's pretty cool. I like Dojas. They're pretty cool. I like Papa Dogs. I really want to thank you for bringing the truth to light. And light the truth. If it wasn't for you, I don't even want to think about what could have happened. I probably would have been dead.
Don't mention it. I'm just glad everything worked out in the
I
end.
would have been cucked. Cuckoed.
And so ended a very personal case for me. It felt like a weight had been lifted off my back. Malin continued working at the ranch, hoping to make it prosper even beyond what her father was able to accomplish. I didn't really think much about it, but the days following were some of the happiest I'd lived for a long time. Little did I know that a terrible tragedy would soon shock the entire kingdom, and I'd find myself smack dab in the middle of it. But that's a legend for another day.
A Legend of Zelda? I really hope there's more of this, and it wasn't just this.
No, this is the end.
Oh, that is?
Yeah.
That's it? Oh, shucks.
This is fucking massive, though. Like, they made this out of Ocarina of Time.
Really?
Yeah.
It would be so cool to have more, but yeah, it is a lot.
Like, this is wild.
It is fun.
I have the wrench myself.
What are you guys talking about? Why are they wearing Daisy Dukes?
Why is that one special?
Because he got the purple pants. He's the captain.
Remember when Yakyo drew that soldier?
Soldier boy, tall.
They're talking about football.
Football! You see when the king got absolutely obliterated?
Who is that?
Who's that? Is this the next? Oh, a squirrel did commit tax fraud. Oh shit, I bite him.
That's not a Zelda character.
You must protect the driver. You must protect the streams.
That's interesting that, like, Zelda had a sister that died.
Yeah, that's wild.
That was Zelda. Now she's Zelda too. He's gonna get more chickens to the crotch.
See, I want to know the story of Ingo breaking out of jail to get revenge on Link.
That's what I want to know. Who's that with him?
I will have my revenge.
Poor Ingo.
What do you mean, poor Ingo? He killed them.
Yeah, but like he did it because of a misunderstanding.
And now I play my piano because I'm scheming.
Actually, it's an organ.
Actually, look how glowy his eyes are. He's like, I am very pissed I lost at football earlier.
Yeah, a lot of people went into this just like 2.5 hour experience.
Zelda, I'm not actually Zelda. I'm Zelda too. Let you Google it.
Oh, she's getting fucking screamed at.
Ooh. Sounds like she was screaming.
But Daddy, I didn't mean to do it. Okay, bye.
I got grounded.
I got grounded. She has like an actual detective
Yeah,
outfit.
look at her cat!
Kitty cat.
Nice cat you got there.
Oh, she still lives in Kakariko. She made her house into like an office. That's cool. There's the graveyard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Why's he got mushrooms in front of it?
Because he was allergic to flowers, I put mushrooms because he was he really liked shrooms. He really liked them a lot.
He was pretty chill. Where's the Shadow Temple? It's not there.
He was a chill guy until he got murdered.
He's dead now.
And now I own a ranch.
Hey.
Yeah, I can get more horses now! He said no last week, that's why I got it set up.
Scene select. Extra?
Extra?
What do you mean extra?
Extra? Extras?
Meanwhile, somewhere else? What? Super Talon Game?
Super talent game? Is that like him in the afterlife trying to get back?
What the fuck? This is sick. What the hell?
Why is this just Mario? Ooh.
I mean, he looks a little bit like Mario.
Mushroom!
Daddy always liked the shrimp. Oh.
Wow, I really needed one of those.
I
Thanks.
told you!
In return, I'll tell you about a secret I've heard, supposedly. There's a game with a giant egg in which you can become a criminal. And a pair of games with climate change and time travel. They say that extras can be unlocked by connecting them on the title screen using a certain accessory. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure you can figure it out. See ya.
I'm supposed to be dead. Hit.
So what the fuck on the title screen? I don't know. I'll look it up later.
Yay! We did it!
Yay!
Yay!
Now we're gonna go play Dokapon.
Yay! How was the voice acting?
It was good. That was fun.
That was fun. I think we should do that more often.
Coming soon to a stream near you, Omori.
Oh my god, am I gonna be voicing over Amori?
It'd be fun.
I bet. Play Amori.